Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another AFK Journey video, and today we're going to continue our AFK Journey guide series by talking about Korin, an A rank character in AFK Journey, but an A rank character that is very worth investing in. In fact, in my opinion, Odie is probably the most important A rank character to invest in just all around, but Korin is right behind him. He's definitely in your top 5 A rank characters in this game, and some people would argue that he is, maybe second, third, maybe all the way to 5th, but he's definitely top 5. We're going to do a guide for him today, and I want to start in kind of an interesting place. So I'm going to throw some tier lists on the screen, including my own. Now here's Pridewin's tier list, and you can see Pridewin has Korin as an S tier character in the game. Mostly that S tier is about story, and he's fine in story. I'll talk a lot more about that here in a second, but notice that S plus that he gets in Dream Realm. That is definitely where he shines. I think Pridewin has him ranked about right, maybe just a little bit too high in terms of like those story stages, because I feel like once you've fleshed out your account to where you have a lot of Mythic Plus people, Korin is outshined in story a little bit, but I think it's a fair ranking that they have for him right there. AFK Analytica, if we go to their site and check out their tier list, don't know why I went off of it, here he is on theirs, and they also have him as S, but they have EX above that. You can see they agree with me and have Odie as the only A rank character above Korin. I actually kind of like how they've positioned these A rank characters right here, with Odie at EX and then Korin just below him at S. Then if we look at my tier list, here's my PvP tier list, and I think I was a little bit too harsh on him. Like, I think he's probably mid B tier to high B tier. Like, I think he's maybe something like this on PvP, but I was pretty close in my guessing on where he was going to be in power once I got him EX. And then my PvE tier list, I think I have him a little bit too low on here. Like, I have him bottom of A tier, and if I was putting these in some kind of order, I think he would be up here near the top of A tier. But again, I think I was pretty close. So there's just a feel for like different tier lists, mine, a couple others on where we think this guy is. Here's something interesting about him. He is a character in this game whose usefulness does not necessarily come from his ult. So Demon Seal Spear is an AoE attack, knocks people back, and it's fine. It's nice to have a little AoE attack in your arsenal, but it is one of his least important moves in the game. His important moves are these. Defiance Charge, he jumps to your weakest ally, and weakest is lowest HP ratio. So if you have a unit who's getting like chunked out every 9 seconds, which is only every 4.5 seconds if you're going double speed, this man will go give that person a shield. That shield's really clutch. And in fact, when you're talking about clearing, story stages, this is one of his most important moves. It's the utility that he brings to your team. Then Airstrike, this is whatever. It's just a damaging attack. Strikes enemies 1 tile away. Hero Focus is haste. Hey, more haste is always nice. You should level this. It's pretty cheap to level these, focus skills right here. But then we get to his bread and butter, Vine Arms. Now, this is the point, Mythic Plus, and again, shocker, a Mythic Plus is the character breaking point. Mythic Plus is the point where Korin is going to become, a PvE god. So when Korin and allies within 2 tiles cast their ultimate 3 times in total, so after 3 ults, including his, Korin's arms feel nature's power. You can see he's got Vine Arms. Feel nature's power and enchant his spear with wilder magic, dealing an additional true damage, that's a big deal for bosses, equal to 2% of the target's max HP for 8 seconds with follow-up attacks. The extra damage, however, cannot exceed 40% of his Korin's attack. Now, if there was no disclaimer here where it could go, like it was just straight up 2% of the target's HP, most busted character in the game, absolutely, like he's killing every Dream Realm boss by himself. He still almost does that. Like, this is crazy. Then when we're okay, well, let's go to his, I'll talk more about that in a minute. Enhanced Force, damage dealt by enemies 1 tile beyond is reduced. He gets a little tankier right here against range, which if you're trying to run him in PvP or really high-end PvE like story stages, this is important. And 1 tile beyond, one thing they don't mention about Korin is look how long this spear is. This man does not stand, he doesn't count as being directly next to someone he's fighting. He's a spear unit, so he pokes from 1 extra square away. He's got range too. So essentially, he's almost always proccing this unless an enemy moves up on him, which is nice. Now, one thing about him, when we're talking about Vine Arms and we're talking about like what his breakpoints are here, he is a little bit of an investment if you want to get him this extra attack speed, which I think is vital to unlocking him, because he has 8 seconds of doing that additional, true damage, so you're going to want to take him to +5. Now, if you want to invest in him heavier, like if you want to put some of your gold keys into him, you can for the more stats, and it will in fact give his follow-up attack another 25% in damage. And if you super care about Dream Realm, like that is, if Dream Realm is your everything, I actually think you just go all into this guy. Like, I think he's that good. Now, let me go ahead and show you some action of him in Dream Realm, kind of highlight what I'm talking about and show you some numbers. All right, now we got King Croaker today, so here's my setup. I'm gonna run with Thorin because you just run Thorin on everything. He's like the most busted character in this game, honestly. Then here's Korin right next to him. I got Smokey for heals, and then I'm running, it's like the triple A rank ultimate PvE team, right? So I'm comparing him in this case. This is on purpose, by the way. I am comparing him purposefully to the other A rank characters that are often considered insane for bossing. So these Dream Realm superstars, we have Korin, we have Merrily, and we have Odie. And these are three characters that you often hear is like you should be investing in them. Now, Thorin and Smokey, I mean, like, I think people are running those in Dream Realm if they have them. Thorin adding that damage to these guys is kind of nuts. You have a lot of true damage coming out right here from Korin and Merrily. So let's just see which one of them do the best. Now, this is the endless HP challenge, and you can see I've already broke that 20 million threshold, which is what you need to get all the prizes. So at this point, I'm just really competing for that, ranking. Like, how high can I get them? We might hit 30 million. It's been, believe it or not, it's been 4 days since I did this boss, and your account gets stronger every day in AFK Journey, which is something really cool. So you can see him jumping around giving the shields. At this point in the game, those shields aren't mattering too much because I have the sustain to deal with it, but just look at him hopping all over the map and notice how he's never right up next to the boss. We ended up getting 34 million damage, and it's fairly soon after reset, so 34 million will put us at like rank 6. Let's look at the damage, and there you go, 8.4 million. Now, he was actually out damaged on this fight by another A rank character, Merrily. Guide for her coming soon as well, but check that out. That's insane. Now, I want to do another fight. This time what I'm going to do, we're going to run this same kind of team again. I'm going to keep this same 3 setup, but instead of Odie and Merrily, I'm going to drop it for Vala, a great single target damage dealer, and Cecia, another character that a lot of people have built. So this is two S tier characters. Let's see how Korin's damage compares to theirs. I think Vala, definitely for the first few weeks of my account, Vala was my #1 damage dealer, but part of that was these A rank Dream Realm specialists like Korin and Merrily and those folks. It takes a long time to get one of them to Mythic Plus, because not only do you have to get all the dupes, you also don't get to have those like point, with your S rank characters, you get to spend the acorns to like tier them up sometimes. With these A rank characters, it's all dupes all the time, baby. So you got to be duping them out constantly to get that done. And I think you'll see right here why a lot of these A rank characters are considered just vital for climbing in Dream Realm. And climbing in Dream Realm, it's sort of this weird, like, self-fulfilling A rank prophecy. I don't really have a better way of putting it than that, but the best way to get A rank dupes is doing Dream Realm well. But the best way to do Dream Realm well is to have a lot of A rank dupes. So it's this interesting kind of like thing where to do better in this, you need those characters, and then to get those characters quickly, you need to do better in this. It's another disadvantage that spenders have, but at least this is a farmable game mode every day. So if you are a low spender or free to play, you can kind of pick which one to focus on. Now, we did much worse that time, but look at that. Korin was my only really great damage dealer right there. Cecia was down here at 3.2 million. Vala outperformed her at 4.7, and then there's Korin at 6 mil. So a worse run for sure, but Korin outperformed those two like S rank characters. He's insane on this. Now, if I was to bring up, let's bring up another website here for just a second. Let's bring up AFK Analytica again, because they have a great Dream Realm guide. Now, here you can see the meta teams for the different Dream Realm bosses. Now, this is just their examples. Obviously, these ultimate meta teams using these celestial units, like, yeah, okay, like, look, most people don't have that stuff, including me. So you have to kind of look over here. And if you look, okay, there's Korin on Skyclops. There's Korin in one of the teams on King Croaker. And actually, I don't know, this team is weird to me. Like, it doesn't work as well as maybe it works for them. Look, here's Korin twice on Necro Dragon. Here's Korin in one of the Snow Stomper teams. So legit, he is worth it for every one of the Dream Realm bosses. Now, there's another big PvE mode in the game, and right now we have a Primal Lord out. So how good does Korin do in Primal Lord? Well, let's go find out. All right, now our current Primal Lord is the Alpha Bear, and the Alpha Bear has an interesting little interaction with Korin that is, of course, to Korin's favor. So you want to run a beefy tank, and with this boss, you only want one character standing right next to the boss. There's really good guide videos out there about this, so I'm not going to go into it. That's not the point of this video, but you really want one character standing next to him, and then you want range DPS. Hey, guess what? Korin might not look like a ranged DPS, but he is range 2, not range 1, and Alpha Bear does things to people right next to him with his honey, and he can trigger this massive AoE. So you want to stack a tank and a bunch of ranged DPS. Hey, perfect. I know just the guy. We're going to go Korin. So let me get rid of that team I was messing with yesterday. There's my one tank. That's who I'm going to run there. Then I'm going to run an Odie. Let's try let me do Smokey. Where's old Smokester at? I'm going to put Smokey out here. Then I'm going to go Vala. I think she's really great on this. There's my Korin. And then I'll also just go with a Merrily. So you know what? In fact, let's just do the A rank super trio right here and then throw them at the boss. This is a lot like what I would run against some Dream Realms, and you can see right there, like, Korin is not directly next to the boss. So when the boss does his, like, adjacent enemy thing, he won't get Korin, which is necessary and good. Now, I don't know, did Korin kind of like troll himself right there and maybe get in range, or did he get AoE? He might have got range attack hunting. So anyway, let's just see what the damage is like here. Let's see if we can set a new like high score for ourselves. You can see that honey just hurts, man. Like when it's sitting on there stacking, it really hits hard. We're up to 12 million damage at this point. I think before this fight right here, I was ranked 12, but this is not going the best for me. I don't think I'm going to improve on my 12 rank on this one, but let's look at our damage with the super trio of the other A ranks. And in fact, maybe 15.2 was my new high. Korin outdamaged everybody in this case, not by a ton. Like Smokey with his like cloud, that cloud doing that percent damage for Smokey did a lot of work and healing. This guy's clutch for this fight. Merrily kept up. Odie not as good. So if I was going to replace somebody in this fight for this next run, maybe what I would do is replace my Odie with a Vala, and I'm going to run him here. I was a little bit concerned with just kind of how that worked out. Like I felt like Thorin died a little too easily, so maybe I will take the damage. I'll take this tether off perhaps. Let's just try this. Let me see how this setup right here works. Let's see. So put these folks there. Korin's in there fighting. There's the shaking of the honey. And I want to make sure that that did not also get Korin. And it did not. Like I felt there was a part of me that felt like it might have accidentally gotten him too. Like maybe he had jumped to a weird adjacent tile on accident and received the honey debuff. So it looks like that didn't happen this time, which is good. So that might be something to pay attention to. Honestly, so many things in this game happen so fast. It can be hard to even notice. Now Smokey now he's getting that clutch shield from Korin, which is helpful, and then he's trying to keep himself alive through that damage over time. You can see Vala and Smokey have already gone down. This boss is brutal. Like he's earned that reputation as he's a legit alpha bear. All right, he's not a beta bear, he's an alpha bear. Okay, 15.9 million. That might be my new high. It is. That took me to rank 10, and we'll see right there. Okay, Merrily actually, nope, he still did the most. Korin still did the most. Vala not performing as well. One of the recommended, let's just do one more run at this for the sake of this video. One of the range DPS recommendations was Cecilia. So let's actually see how she does with the Korin in there. So let's drop Vala, let's put Cecilia in there, and then let's just run it again. I'm going to put Odie here this time, kind of give him that extra little bit of sustain, or maybe I could give it to Korin. This is my normal setup. Let's run this right here and see how it works. All right, so here we go. Once again, Thorin's in there. Korin supporting him. The honey is getting sticky. Everybody's getting sticky. You know, it's unfortunate that we all got to get sticky like that, but we do. Odie's gas is spreading out, keeping us alive. Eventually that gas will turn blue and start messing with the boss. We're up to about 8 million damage already. You can see Marilee's just popping off, man. Talk about a character that just, I didn't, like when I first started this game, I didn't play beta at all. I was completely not in the beta. So I had no experience. I walked in with like no preconceived anything about this game. And when I was just looking at the characters, you know, I'm looking at Marilee of the world and I was like, yeah, she's not going to be a as I say that, she kills herself. She literally, he did his little like line AoE right through the tank and she jumped in range of that boulder and got herself run over. So okay, Marilee playing into my narrative a little bit. Anyway, we're at rank 10. I didn't look at my damage. Is there a history here? Like, I don't know. I never can find that stuff. So anyway, there you go. There's Korin. He's good in these game modes. He's especially good boss killer. Now, if you're talking about PvP, and I'm not actually going to use him in a PvP fight here, he's serviceable, right? Like if he's one of the only characters that you've highly invested in, if he's one of your only Mythic Plus characters, run him out there probably, right? Like if you're newer and he's somebody who you're investing in, go ahead and run him out there. But once you get to the end game, he's not going to be somebody who's like carrying you in PvP. I actually think it's his weakest game mode. If there was a situation to run him in, and like I said, I'm not going to do it, but say you jumped into like a fight and the enemy was running a Vala. Good. And you're running a Vala to kind of counter them. And you're like, you know what I'm going to do to try and help my Vala win is I'm going to put Korin out here. And that way, if the Valas are shooting each other and your Vala ends up low HP, and when his skill goes off for the first time, he'll jump to her, give her that shield, and perhaps that'll be the thing that like helps her win that Vala on Vala duel. Now, am I going to try that out right here for the sake of a video? Yes, I am, because why not, I guess. Right here, they're targeting Vala with an assassin character and their Vala. So let's see if Korin will jump to her, or one of the problems with the strategy is, okay, he did. So he jumped to her and gave her the shield straight off, hopefully kind of counteracting the insane amount of aggro that they threw onto my back line. It didn't end up mattering. And so there you go. Like if Korin's best thing in PvP is that shield that he can jump out there and give, the shield was not enough to survive the like double assassin takedown. And in fact, man, we might end up winning this anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and 2x speed it. Gosh, unless their Vala just hard carries, but we just did the archer volley on her. Man, the little kids are gonna carry us here. So we win. Now, was Korin a big reason why we won that fight? Maybe. Like, let's see his damage dealt. He did the second most damage on our team. My Vala never attacked. Zero damage. Was literally crowd controlled the whole time. That's insane. Like she never got an attack off. I have played a lot of PvP matches. I've never seen that. Never ever. So Korin actually did okay right there. Their assassins, the duel was one-sided, so he wasn't able to do that, but he did buy some time. That first shield definitely bought some time, forced their Sylvina to use her first ultimate on Vala. So there's a little taste of what Korin can do in PvP. You definitely can still win. I am surprised I won that. I thought I was trolling by going into that fight. Turns out it was a W. Okay, and then in terms of like PvE pushing, I can't push any more AFK stages. I've gotten to the end there, but I will I will say this too. I'm on day 5 or day 6 now of my free-to-play account. Spent $0 on that account. He is somebody who I have absolutely thrown into my wish list in the Mystic House. And in fact, on that account, I'm doing kind of an experiment here where I have him on my epic recruitment hero wish list, because I just want to push him up as high as I can so I can get access to those better scores in Dream Realm and things like that. It's not something I'm recommending everybody else do. I'm just showing you how much I value him even on my free-to-play account. So there you go. All right, that's the guide, everybody. I hope it was useful. I hope you now are deciding to invest into Korin, because I think it is a great idea. Wish list this man and get yourself some dupes. All right, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Peace.